Kurt Warner from the University of Northern Iowa and NFL Game Day Morning and NFL Media, joining me here on the Rich Eisen Show. How are you, Kurt?
I am doing great. It doesn't get much better than, when March Madness starts, especially these first couple of days, games on every hour. And I don't get to watch a lot of college basketball, but I'm a huge basketball fan. I love to play basketball, so this is always a fun time of year.
What's your game look like? What does the Kurt Warner Hoops game look like?
I can play a little bit, Rich.
Okay.
I got a little everything. I can go inside, outside. I got a jump shot. I can finish. I got a little everything. I'm a pretty good little player.
Now, my question for you, though, Kurt, is you made a heck of a career for yourself distributing the football. What are you like with the basketball in your hand, though?
Yeah, I'm a black hole. Yeah. I spent my whole life passing the ball. So when I get on the basketball court, I'm a shooter. Huh? I'm a scorer.
Well, Chris Brockman just gave the thumbs up, because if you're a black hole, then the entire universe of Chris Brockman is just the biggest gravity pull of all time.
I'm down with that, Kurt. You do you, buddy.
That's right. Got to score.
Okay. So are you going to Seattle for this game for Northern Iowa?
I am. Me and my boys are headed out this afternoon. I think the tip-off is 10:40 tomorrow for the UNI Panthers.
Okay.
And so we're looking forward to it. We're excited. I've gotten to know Coach Jacobson a little bit over the years as they've made a couple runs here. And he called me last week and invited me to come out and just be around the team and hang out and enjoy the atmosphere. And so my boys are pumped up. And we're looking forward to it.
All right, Kurt Warner, tell me. I'm not very well versed at all on Northern Iowa basketball. This team, what I do know, though, is the 5 seed is somewhat of the back of the hand from the NCAA Tournament Selection Committee. That I do know. Tell me about Northern Iowa basketball.
Well, I think the thing that you'll see with this team is it's an unselfish team, a lot of guys that contribute. It's not one of those teams where you've got your one or two big scores. They got a number of guys that can go inside and outside. I think you're going to see a lot of balance. Good coach team. Coach Jacobson has done a great job. I mean, if you remember just a few years ago, they knocked off Kansas when Kansas was a 2 or 3 seed in the tournament. So they've done a nice job. And, I mean, only 3 losses on the season. Wichita State, another really good team, is in their conference. So some good basketball in the conference. So we got a chance to surprise people. I think we were better than a 5 seed. I mean, I think at the end of the year they were ranked 10th in the country. So to me, that's a little better than a 5 seed. But you know how that works when you come from the smaller schools. You never quite get the respect you deserve, and that's what the tournament's for. You get a chance to earn it.
So how far do you see this team going, Kurt?
Well, I definitely see them getting out of this weekend. I mean, you're never quite sure when at that point, if Villanova continues to advance, they'd be playing a number 1 seed, so that's never easy. But I'm pulling for them to win tomorrow, and then possible matchup with Louisville, the 4 seed, if they stay true to order and win. And I'm see them winning that game too, and then we'll see what happens next weekend.
Now, and I'm speaking to Kurt Warner here on the Rich Eisen Show, so the man personifies that anything's possible based on his playing career. So, Kurt, you do realize that there is some shot of a final Elite 8 game where you take on Mooch's Tom Izzo. You do see that, right?
I do see that. And in one of my brackets, I got Michigan State going there too. So I think they're a good team. I think they play well in the tournament. So that would be we could bet. I don't know what we'd bet. Probably 2 or 3 burgers on that one, me and Mooch. But
yes.
that would be awesome. That would be fun to be able to show up in the stands and sit across from Mooch. But yeah, I mean, I think I'm just pulling for you and I to just represent and earn some respect, which they've gotten this year. And I can tell you that because my boys for years would just continually razz me. Dad, where did you go to school?
Right.
They have a football program. They have a sports program there. And then this year, with the Panthers being on the scene and them being basketball fans, they're watching and telling me how high they are, and they're excited. They want to get jerseys. And they're like, now it's cool to be from Northern Iowa, whereas all these years before this, I got no respect in the household. So I'm excited. They've given me a little more respect in my household from the season they've had on the basketball court.
Well, Kurt, you've told your kids that Paul Burmeister took your scholarship at Iowa, right? You've told him that, right?
I did. I've told him that. You know, when Paul's standing right next to me, I've told him that he was the guy that stole my scholarship. But it all works out for a reason. And like I said, my kids are so pumped up to go out and cheer for Northern Iowa. They become huge fans. So that's been a huge plus for me.
And as you know, with Mooch, I mean, there's a hierarchy of the people that Mooch loves. Obviously, families above all. But when it comes to it, I mean, there's the Andy Reid Gruden level, right? Then there's the Favre. There's the Favre level.
Yes.
And above that is Tom Izzo.
Above the Favre level?
Is Tom Izzo. His best man at his wedding. I mean, nothing more can stick the dagger in Mooch for being part of the administration that did not pay you the respect in Green Bay back in the day, Kurt, than for Northern Iowa to take.
This would be my chance if they both get there and you and I beat Michigan State.
Yeah.
That would be my chance to get back at Mooch.
Yes.
For cutting me all those years ago.
Yes, correct. That's right, Kurt.
I like that.
This is all
I
payback.
Like
it takes some time to do it. Real quick, I do want to ask you in the couple of minutes that we do have here to just switch a little bit. What did you think of Chris Borland's early retirement, Kurt?
Well, I mean, I think like most people, very surprising. You know, you put in all the work and get to the point where, you know, you think everybody dreams of getting to the NFL and, you know, really starting to have a great young career and then make that decision based off of, you know, the fear for injury. But I think, you know, the thing that we've come to notice over the last couple years is that it's become more and more in the forefront. And, you know, guys are thinking about it more and more. And you can never fault a guy for that if that's, you know, really something that they think about on a daily basis. You know, I'm continually working with different groups. I work with a group called Unequal that does, you know, supplemental padding for helmets and stuff. I don't let my kids go on the field without it. You know, those kinds of things. I'm always very, very attentive to those things, too, and want to protect everybody that plays the game. So I understand that fear, and I respect his decision. It's just, you know, different for all of us because I know I wouldn't go back and change anything. I love the game and, you know, very conscious of that when I was playing, but also knew that was a risk every time I stepped out there, and I just always felt that the rewards outweighed the risks for me.
And I got 45 seconds left for you to hit up Sam Bradford. The Rams finally moving on from one of the many successors who are trying to fill your shoes there. What'd you think of Bradford to Philadelphia, Kurt?
Yeah, I thought that was interesting, too, especially from Nick Foles a couple years ago, the season that he had. You kind of thought maybe he was the guy for the future, but, you know, they must have seen something in Sam that they felt he could bring to the table that Nick couldn't. I'm sure Nick's excited to be in St. Louis, an up-and-coming team. But I was surprised by that, too, you know, just kind of one for one. I thought Nick kind of deserved another chance to see if he could get back to that magic. But, you know, as we all know, when we're standing on the outside, we never quite see everything that's going on. Mm-hmm. And, you know, Chip Kelly made some crazy moves, we thought, in this offseason, but also did some good things on the other side. So we'll see how it all plays out. But I guess he probably knew a little more than we did.
Kurt, safe travels to Seattle. Thanks for calling in,
all right,
bud.
buddy.
You
Talk
bet.
to you soon.
That's Kurt Warner.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern. On Audience.